All right, so week 3 is done, and technically we took 2 losses this week. The first one is on USD CHF, but if you saw the previous video, then you know that we took that trade last week, held it over the weekend, and we was looking to see if price would push up. Price actually didn't end up pushing up. A lot of shit was going on this week, right? Monday was Trump's inauguration, MLK Day most importantly, but news and a whole bunch of other shit, markets was moving crazy, right? So USDCHF actually didn't end up pushing up, so it just ended up dropping and hitting our stop loss Monday. So we was out pretty quickly when the week started. I already broke it down in the last video, so if you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out. But this one was a loss. The next pair that we took was on CADJPY, which was on Wednesday. Now I forgot to break this down in the top setups video. So let me go ahead and do that. As far as the weekly, we came into this week bearish. This was the lower low. This was the lower high. And I know some people might say, oh, it was bullish. JPY pairs were bullish and all that, right? If that's your strategy, congrats. That's your strategy, right? This is my strategy. This is a strategy I use, I follow. Coming into the week, CAD JPY was bearish, right? So now that we know that, we have a area of interest marked up here. We have 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Strong area of interest on the weekly. Jump down to the daily, see what's going on there. Coming into the week, we were bearish as well. This was the lower low. This was the lower high, right? Same area of interest, matches up with the daily. Multiple touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Don't have to go all the way back there, but as we see, all we need is 3 or more, and we have more than 3, so we're good. So weekly's bearish, daily's bearish. Don't have to worry about the 4-hour. We also have this daily EMA right above price on the daily and on the weekly. So that's a good sign. Just use that as a confluence. And then once we saw price close into our area of interest, that's when we started looking for our entries, right? So on this candle, price closed into the area of interest. We didn't get an entry here because this was Tuesday and it had this big push down. I think Trump was signing executive orders or something happened. But we got this big push down, ended up closing all the way back up as a doji. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, that gave me confidence, right? Because then next day I told the members we would just be looking for price to do something like this, right? Just fill that wick. But unfortunately, it didn't. Price still ended up pushing up, but that was okay because it still was in our area of interest. And what was this, Wednesday, right? Yeah, let's jump down to the 15 because this is where we got our entry. Wednesday at around 10 o'clock a.m. So as we see coming into our area of interest, we're not coming into, we was already in it. Price was giving us this market structure, made this high up here, then ended up creating a new higher high. Let me zoom in. Right, price ended up creating a new higher high. Once it broke, actually before I do that, let me take out the lines. New higher high, so this is how we look. Higher high, higher low. Once price broke under here, we waited for our pullback and engulfing candle. And as you see, entry was right here. Ended up putting our stops above Monday's wick, Monday's daily wick. Right? So this is Monday's daily wick. We ended up putting our stop loss above it, added 5 pips. And then we just let the trade play out. Now, Wednesday when I took it, I was recording, so I was showing you guys, exactly me figuring out the lot size, putting in the entry, sending the message to the Discord, the trade alert, and I was supposed to update you guys throughout the week on what happened. But we was only in this trade for like an hour, 45 minutes, which is crazy. So I decided to just chalk that video and then just make this one that I'm doing now. But be on the lookout for that because I think it'll be more more entertaining, to be honest. So I might do that later in the future, maybe starting next week. But we was only in this trade for an hour 45 minutes. As soon as we got in, price just started pushing way up. And I did mention to the members that we did get a shift of structure on both the 30 and the the 1 hour, right? So we got a shift of structure, and I always tell them, just like I tell you guys in all my videos, when price shift structure on the lower time frames, on the higher time frames, mainly on the lower though, always expect a pullback. So I told them I'm gonna be expecting a pullback, right? Because the 30 shift of structure, and then I'll just be expecting a engulfing candle on the 30. Not only that, I'll be expecting the same thing on the 1 hour as well. Shift of structure, pullback, hopefully an engulfing, or price to just continue down. But price didn't end up doing that, just shot up and ended up taking us out. Now, I was very confident in this trade, and actually I'm still confident in this trade going into next week. But I was very confident in this trade, one, because let me jump to market replay. When price shifted structure on the 30-minute, this also gave us a head and shoulders pattern. So I was really looking for price to just retest up here and then continue down. Right? Head and shoulders pattern right there for price to just continue, or excuse me, retest and then continue down. Of course, didn't happen that way. Price just ended up pushing up. And if you want, you can say the same thing for the 1 hour too. Head and shoulders pattern. Look for the retest. So I was hella confident about this trade. It was just one of those trades that price didn't want to work with us and ended up stopping us out. So even though we got stopped out on Wednesday, price still closed in our area of interest. We could still look for entry on the next day. And Thursday actually gave us another entry as well. So after we got stopped out, I was debating if I was going to hop back into it, just because we're following the strategy, right? Price gives us what we need. And if we get what we need, then we go ahead and hop in it. So right here, we're looking for entries. And as we see, price gave us one on the 15, right? Same exact thing that I just said. Nothing different. Shift of structure, pullback, engulfing candle. That's on the 15. Gave us the same thing on the 30. Right? Shift of structure, pullback, engulfing candle. Gave us the same thing on the 1 hour. So CADJPY was really playing with us. Right? Pullback, engulfing. And even here, price went up, shot down, thought it was going to continue to fall there, ended up going back up. So CADJPY was on some BS this week. But the reason why I still like it for this upcoming week, which little sneak peek into the best setups, is because the weekly has closed inside this area of interest. If we look to the left, right, last time price was above our area of interest, the weekly closed in it, gave us a doji, ended up pushing out. If you want to move your area of interest up a little, you see that the weekly closed in it, pushed back out of it, right? If you don't want to do that, keep it where it was at and just go by these. The weekly closed in it, doji, pushed out. Weekly closed in it, ended up pushing out. So I'm just looking at the same thing, right? All I'm doing is align myself with the highest probabilities. And here too, I don't know if I went over this one, but we was under it, price closed in it, ended up pushing out. So now that the weekly has closed in it, I'm going to be looking for price to give me the same exact thing on the daily. Price is already closed in it. So Sunday, going into Monday, we could look for entries. If we get stopped out, then we get stopped out. It is what it is, right? But as I mentioned, this pair looks great for sells, in my opinion. But as I always say, Follow your own analysis. Don't go off what I say. Trust your analysis, because that's how you prove to yourself that you can actually do it without anybody else guiding you. That's how week 3 ended. And before I get out of here, I want to show you guys how the challenge is looking. Started off the week at 103,000, took the 2 losses this week, and it dropped to 99,106. Nothing crazy, got some work to do, but hopefully next week is a lot better. Here is the first loss, and I'm not sure why it isn't updated on here, but I can show you guys what it looks like on Trade Locker. USD CHF loss, and CADJPY a loss. But next week is a new week with a whole bunch of brand new opportunities. So let's go ahead and lock in, man. Y'all be safe, and I'll catch you on the next video.